Houses of Parliament are united once again. White against the grey of history gleams the roof of the new chamber of the House of Commons. 9 years ago, the old chamber lay destroyed in the wake of a raider, and the Commons were without their own place of assembly. That was in 1941. Today, the impressive Churchill door, built from scarred relics of the old chamber, gives entrance to the new. The house keeps the old intimate atmosphere. For its furnishing, the dominions and colonies sent gifts. The Speaker's chair is from Australia. The galleries will now hold many more, and loudspeakers make debates more audible. The table comes from Canada, the inkstands from southern Rhodesia. New Zealand gave 2 dispatch boxes, and from Jamaica came the bar, which is closed when the House is in session. And now to the Great Hall of Westminster. The Speaker of the House of Commons, Colonel Clifton Brown, enters as the High Court of Parliament assembles for the official opening of the new chamber. On the right, facing the thrones, sit the Commons, and on the left, the Lords. Behind the Speaker follow bearers of equal office or their deputies from every part of the Commonwealth. In their presence, they pay tribute to the Mother of Parliaments, from which their own government drew inspiration. Now comes the Lord Chancellor, one of the greatest officers of the realm, head over all the judges, keeper of the Great Seal of the realm, which he carries now with him, and Speaker of the House of Lords. And now the grey old walls fill their function, contrasting the reds and gold, the great blue curtains and the royal arms. Within its walls, a king heard his sentence of death, and in our times, another in death received the homage of millions. The great company is assembled, and the cleaners prepare the way for the king. Their homely presence relaxes for a moment the tension of a great occasion. Any moment now, a great fanfare will announce the royal arrival. On guard stand the yeomen, the sovereign's personal bodyguard since the days of Henry VII. Gradually, impressively, the colour builds up, and to it, the Queen adds the light blue of her dress. Now the Lord Chancellor offers the humble greetings of the House of Lords.
Most gracious Sovereign, we, Your Majesty's most dutiful and loyal subjects, the Lords spiritual and temporal in Parliament assembled, beg leave to thank Your Majesty for the most gracious message which Your Majesty has addressed to this House, and to ask permission to express to Your Majesty the unqualified satisfaction with which we have heard that the Commons chamber has been rebuilt after its destruction by Your Majesty's enemies in 1941 and is now ready for occupation.
With his speech ended, the Lord Chancellor ascends the steps to present the House of Lords message to His Majesty. It is customary to retire facing the King all the time, but by His Majesty's wish, This is now waived because of the danger. In the Lord Chancellor's hand is the purse containing the Great Seal. The Speaker now adds the tribute to the House of Commons, in whose honor the great company is assembled.
In all humility, we trust that with God's help, our deliberations in our new chamber may result in securing the peace, well-being, and happiness, not only of our own people and the peoples of the Commonwealth, but of all the peoples of the world.
And now, with representatives of the Commonwealth Parliaments listening, the King gives his message.
I look back with pride and gratitude to the part that Parliament played when this country was in danger. True to its function of expressing the will and spirit of my people, the House of Commons continued with unshakable courage and high purpose to fulfill its duties despite the bombing of its home. This new chamber will stand as a sign to the world of our faith in freedom, of our confidence in the permanence of our common ideals, and of the ties, flexible yet firm, which hold together the peoples of our Commonwealth and unite in brotherhood the freedom-loving peoples of all nations. For freedom finds expression in this Palace of Westminster, where free men and women can speak in accordance with the dictates of their consciences, yet with that saving grace of humor and readiness to understand the point of view of others, which has ever been typical of our race. May this chamber long stand to shape the destinies of my people at home. And may the blessing of Almighty God rest upon it and all who labor therein.
The ceremony is over, and a great lady, before whose eyes so much pageantry has passed, so much history been made, leaves the hall where once she mourned a husband, leaning on the arm of a granddaughter, and followed by her daughter and another son. The pageant passes, and slowly the great hall returns to its accustomed grey. But here before the world, in so many parts of which it is missing, government of the people by the will of the people has once more received clarion affirmation. It came to us as the wisdom of the ages, and learning from us, the wise are free.